Good Monday, degenerates, and welcome to another episode of Boring Crypto I.O., the place where I read you the boring crypto news Monday through Friday every morning so you don't have to. My name is Not Important, and I'm your host. Let's go. Crypto hedge fund Galois capital shuts down after losing $40 million to FTX. Former FTX exec will plead guilty to federal charges with a deal. Unworkable bill to ban blockchain immutability is introduced in Illinois. And crypto's next bull run will come from the east, according to Gemini co-founder. Market. Woo! We up there, y'all. $1.133 billion. And Bitcoin sitting at 42.4% dominance. ETH at 18.5% dominance. Gwei at 21. And let's see where we are after the weekend. Guys, Bitcoin up 14.28% on the week. ETH 14.47 on the week. BNB up 8. XRP up 7. Cardano kicking everyone's teeth in, up 14.6% on the week. Matic crushing it. Solana doing good, 28% on Solana. DOT looking good, 23. Let's see if there's any like big outliers. Filecoin, Phil, 76% on the week. OKB at 33. And 37 for VeChain. ICP kicking people's teeth in it well, 31% on the weekly, guys. Yeah, market's looking it's been a nice little rally. Let's look at Bitcoin. All right, so here we go. Here's what I've been talking about. Okay, first of all, guys, per usual, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'll be honest with you, I'm not the best trader on the planet either. My trading is super simple. So if you are trading, trade at your own risk, do your own research, etc., etc. But let's look at this. So we have been fighting this 23,876, 23,789. If you've been watching the channel, we've been fighting this level for quite some time. All right. We hit it, we wicked up to it, retraced. We broke out, came back down. Broke out, came back down. Then we had that big dip like a week and a half ago. Blew out past it. Just got past 25 and instantly retraced. And then we actually looked like we got back below it and looked like it was going to be resistance again. We blew past it. Now, this is what I've been saying. It's the one thing I haven't seen on the 4 hour since I've been watching that level, guys. And I've been telling you, if we can turn this into support, that is very bullish for me. And give me just a second, guys. I don't know what happened here. My screen decided to get wonky on me. Let's refresh this real quick. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so like I was saying, until we can flip this into support, I'm not getting bullish. But right here, we have a wick on the 4 hour. And I shit you not, this wick broke down from after breaking out of 25 again and then shot right to that 23,876 level and got bought right back up. This is the most bullish thing I've seen in quite some time, guys. For me personally, this right here, flipping this major level of resistance into now support, that's a good feeling, guys. Again, not an end-all be-all, but it's something to think about when looking at the market. Now, there are I gotta get off of this. There are a lot of people that I'm listening to that are calling for a potential pullback to the 19 to 20 range, and I can see it, guys. I mean, if we flipped, like, let's say we flip 25 and start moving up towards 30, you're gonna get a correction. It would be healthy to have a correction, because people are A, gonna take profit, and B, it's just people are gonna short. When there's a big run like this, people are gonna start shorting the market, so it's gonna put sell side pressure on the market. Starting to form a little wee trend line here too. I'm gonna draw on it real quick. Something like this. All right. So that's what we're doing on Bitcoin, guys. I'm starting to get excited about this trend. Again, I'm not going to go all in, but with us touching and turning that 23876 into support now, I'm feeling a lot more confident with this rally. So keep your eye on it. Per usual, tight stop losses, trade conservatively, etc., etc. Ethereum, same thing, looking really good. Ethereum looks like it's setting up a potential bull pennant, bull flag, whatever you want to call it. Right about here, doing this like this, from back down here. So I would keep an eye on this, guys. Again, the level to break is this 1723 or the potential top of this flag that I have just drawn right now. Bottom, top, bottom, top. Keep an eye. It looks like it's getting ready to make a decision. My only fear, like, and I if I remember, I'll go back and look at Bitcoin chart. But I think I saw it too. This we have bearish divergence showing up here on the 4-hour. Same thing on Bitcoin. So who knows? Keep an eye on it, guys. I know I hate being the it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down guy, but again, this isn't really a trading channel per usual. I tell you that all the time. I just like to give you guys a little bit of insight in what I'm looking at. But again, with that level being flipped on Bitcoin to support, I'm feeling a lot more bullish. Outside of that, let's rock and roll, get into news, guys, and get you on with the rest of your morning. Former FTX exec will plead guilty to federal charges with a deal. Nishad Singh, the bankrupt exchange's former director of engineering, went to a proffer session with prosecutors last month and is reportedly nearing a plea deal. Nishad Singh, the co-founder and former chief engineer of bankrupt crypto exchange FTX, is working on a plea deal with prosecutors, Bloomberg reported on February 17th. The deal, which would see the 27... God, he's a baby. The 27-year-old Singh plead guilty to charges related to FTX's collapse, has yet to be finalized, the report said. Singh would be following in the footsteps of former FTX chief technology officer Gary Wang and former Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison, who pleaded guilty to federal fraud charges in December after reaching deals with prosecutors. Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried has pleaded innocent to 8 federal charges and is currently living with his parents in California, which we all know. Singh's a childhood friend of SBF's brother Gabriel was the... Man, this is... Sorry, everybody's tied to everybody in this thing. Gabriel was the author of some of FTX's software and one of the roommates in SBF's Bahama penthouse. FBF told a Vox reporter shortly after FTX collapsed that Singh was scared and ashamed and guilty over the event. Interesting. Okay. Tweets. Singh remained out of sight the longest among FTX leadership, but reappeared in the first week of January for a proffer session at the Office of the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. At a proffer session, an individual may be granted limited immunity to share their knowledge with prosecutors. Federal criminal charges are only part of Singh's legal worries. Singh and others from FTX Inner Circle were subpoenaed on February 14th in a class action suit against the venture capital firm Sequoia Capital and private equity firms Thoma Bravo and Paradigm. Ellison and Wang have settled in cases brought against them by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and Commodity Futures Trading Commission, but Singh could potentially be subject to actions brought by those agencies too. Among the charges against SBF are campaign finance violations. Singh was also a major contributor to the U.S. Democratic candidates and causes, reportedly donating $9.3 million since 2020. Yeah, they're all getting in trouble. Hopefully, they all get their asses handed to them. I don't know. What do you guys think? Comments down below. All right, crypto hedge fund Galois. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Gallos. We'll just call it that. Galois Capital shuts down after losing $40 million to FTX. Galois co-founder said the fund has halted all trading and it is no longer viable post FTX. One of the world's largest crypto-focused quantitative funds, Galois, Capital has called it quits after losing a sizable portion of its capital in the collapse of FTX, the firm said in a tweet on Monday. Thank you for the kind words. Yes, it is true that our flagship fund is shutting down, Galois Capital tweeted after the Financial Times reported on the fund closing. Bingo bango. In November, CoinDesk reported that Galois Capital had $40 million stuck at FTX. At the time, Zahao, all these names, I slaughter them all, told his investors that it would take a few years to recover some percentage of the funds. We will work tirelessly to maximize our chances of recovering stuck capital by any means, he told investors at the time. The FT reported that Galois has sold its bankruptcy claim for 16 cents on the dollar. Ouch. In January, CoinDesk reported that FTX claims were going around 13 cents on the dollar on the bankruptcy marketplace. Exclaim. The entire tragic saga starting from the Luna collapse to the Three Arrows Capital credit crisis to the FTX Alameda failure has certainly set the crypto space back significantly, or it got rid of the bad actors. Just depends on how you look at it. Wrote Zuhu in a note by FT. However, I even now remain hopeful for crypto's long-term future. All right. Well, more people shutting down, going bankrupt because of all the BS that went down. You know, it's interesting, guys. This is a handful of people that I pay attention to are saying that this big debacle, the Three Arrows Capital, FTX, Celsius, Luna collapse, etc., are saying that because of that, that's what kept us from going as high as we potentially should have gone on the last bull cycle. Which begs the question on this next coming bull run, does that mean we're going to see the law of diminishing returns and not go as high? Or if all of this BS gets worked out and there's less shady characters in the space, are we going to kind of get a rubber band effect because now basically the market's not being held back by shady bullshit without, that's the layman's way of saying it, I guess. Something to think about. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All right, moving on. Now, I skimmed this article. It's a lot of tweets back and forth, so I don't know how much I'm going to read it of it, but hopefully I can just get some meat potatoes. It seemed interesting, the idea that someone is putting a blockchain bill about stopping the immutability of blockchain, which is what makes blockchain. So anyways, let's see what we got. Unworkable bill to ban blockchain immutability is introduced in Illinois. Florida-based lawyer Drew Hinks described the bill as the most unworkable state law related to blockchain and cryptocurrency that he has ever seen. A recently introduced Illinois Senate bill has been ridiculed by the crypto community over its unworkable plans to force blockchain miners and validators to do impossible things, such as reversing transactions if ordered to do so by a state court. This is interesting too. This shows like all these people in Congress that are trying to make these bills about crypto. It shows you how much they really just don't get it. They don't understand crypto. They don't understand blockchain. And you would think by this time they would get someone in there that is versed in Congress, basically, that is well versed in blockchain. But it doesn't seem to have happened yet. Interesting. All right, the Senate bill was quietly introduced into the Illinois legislature on February 9th by Illinois Senator Robert Peters, but appears to have been only recently noticed by the community after Florida-based lawyer Drew Hinks discussed it in a tweet on February 19th. Titled the Digital Property Protection and Law Enforcement Act, the bill would authorize the courts, upon a valid request from the Attorney General or a state's attorney that is made pursuant to the laws of Illinois, to order a blockchain transaction that is executed via a smart contract to be altered or rescinded. The act would apply to any blockchain network that processes a blockchain transaction originating in the state. I am not even going to try and read all that. let's just go on with the article itself. Hinks described the bill as the most unworkable state law related to blockchain and cryptocurrency that he has ever seen. This is a stunning reverse course for a state that was previously pro-innovation. Instead, now we get possibly the most unworkable state law related to crypto and blockchain I've ever seen, he tweeted. The bill states that any blockchain miners and validators may be fined between $5,000 to $10,000 for each day that they fail to comply with the court orders. While acknowledging the need to implement bills that strengthen consumer protection, Hinks said it would be impossible for miners and validators to comply with the bill proposed by Senator Peters. Now, here's what's interesting too. Not we're going to shut down your mining setup. Not we're going to put you in jail. We're going to fine you $5,000 to $10,000 each day you fail to comply. All of these bullshit laws that keep coming through Congress and all of this bullshit SEC stuff is nothing more than a money grab. They don't give a shit about protecting investors. They don't give a shit about innovation. They don't give a shit about what their actual jobs are to do to put forth good regulation that actually protects people, etc., etc. All they care about is fines. Let's just fine them. Fuck it. Everybody's making money except for us and this stuff because we were dragging our feet on it and didn't learn anything about blockchain. So let's just create all these bullshit laws with these bullshit fines. Anyways, you get my point. All right. Hinks was also shocked to see that no defense would be available to miners or validators that operated on a blockchain network that has not adopted reasonable available procedures to comply with the court orders. The bill also appears to mandate any person using a smart contract to deliver goods and services. Interesting. To include code in the smart contract that can be used to comply with court orders. A person using a smart contract to deliver goods or services in the state shall include smart contract code capable of enforcing court orders regarding the smart contract. Okay, I gotta read this. I gotta read this tweet. I got you guys. Okay, if you mine, validate, or run a node anywhere, you may be subject to $10,000 a day fines if you don't do something that's generally impossible or could be a crime or civil violation of law. And it doesn't matter that compliance is impossible, would likely be illegal. Also, if you thought that was bad, get ready to Illinois your blockchain. Yes, Illinois is going to force you to rewrite your blockchain specifically by including smart contract code capable of responding to court orders. And if you don't, you could be sued. Insanity. Other members of cryptocurrency... Ooh, sorry. I just peeked. Other members of cryptocurrency community have responded with similar ridicule of the bill. Crypto analyst Fubar wrote to his 120,000, almost 121,000 Twitter followers on February 19th that court orders transactions would need to somehow be amended without needing the private key of the participants, which he considered to be hilarious. Gabriel Shapiro, lawyer and general counsel at investment firm Delphi Labs, explained very briefly to his 34,000 Twitter followers on February 19th that the bill would essentially try to ban immutability on the blockchains. Meanwhile, Calois, assistant professor at Southern Methodist University School of Law, chimed in with a tweet on February 19th that lawmakers should only introduce bills if they understand how the technology works. You fucking think. While immutability is a common property in blockchains and distributed ledgers, the Peters-sponsored bill explained that such networks lack an enforcement mechanism that can be tapped into by the courts. Yeah, let them get their greedy fingers on it. As a result, the cost to enforce legal rights in digital property is often prohibitive, such that the property rights can be vindicated and the vast majority of blockchain crimes go unpunished. Fraud and mistake would be two of the most commonly used cases where Illinois courts may order for a blockchain transaction to the victim or original sender. The bill noted the bill also wants to help users recover their assets if they lose their private keys. While the bill was only introduced on February 9th, it will need to be read and voted in by 3 separate committee hearings before being passed to Illinois Governor J. Not even going to try and slaughter that. To officially sign the bill into law. The first reading took place on the same day it was introduced into the Illinois General Assembly by Peters. If it is ever passed, the contents of the bill would take effect 30 days after becoming law. Stop writing laws about shit you don't know about. Moving on. All right, guys. Here it comes. The next crypto bull run will come from the East, says Gemini co-founder. Gemini co-founder Cameron Winklevoss believes the next crypto bull run will come from Asia. I can't necessarily disagree with that. While America has two options: embrace crypto or be left behind. All right, I agree with that statement. I don't know what the rest of the article is going to say, but I agree with that statement, guys. I've been saying this from the get-go. If you've been watching this channel for the short amount of time I have been a channel, you have heard me say that America is absolutely hindering itself and dragging its feet, and I think they should have gotten on board back in 2017. If they did, if they allowed it to innovate, they stopped this bullshit. No regulation, some regulation, maybe regulation. We could have been a leader in the crypto world, basically, but we're not doing it. We're dragging our asses. We're kicking and screaming, as opposed to embracing it. And Asia is embracing it. It's the truth. All right, let's go on. Crypto's next bull run will start in Asia, according to Cameron Winklevoss, an American investor. We all know who Cameron Winklevoss is. If you don't know, he's an American investor and co-founder of the crypto exchange Gemini. His comments have come amid an increase in enforcement action and looming crackdowns on United States regulators, including the SEC. My working thesis at the moment is that the next bull run is going to start in the East, Winklevoss said in a tweet on February 19th. It will be a humbling reminder that crypto is a global asset class and that the West, really the US, only ever had two options: embrace it or be left behind. It can't be stopped. That we know. We absolutely know this. According to Chainalysis, Central and Southern Asia and Oceania, CSAO, was the third largest cryptocurrency market in its index for 2022. Citizens from these areas received $932 billion in cryptocurrencies value from July of 2021 to June of 2022. CSAO was also home to 7 of the top 20 countries in 2022's index: Vietnam, the Philippines, India, Pakistan, Thailand, Nepal, and Indonesia. There's Cameron Winklevoss's tweet. In this Twitter thread, Winklevoss said that governments who fail to offer clear rules and sincere guidance on crypto will be left in the dust and miss out on the greatest period of growth since the rise of the commercial internet. I agree. And it will mean missing out on shaping and being a foundational part of the future financial infrastructure of this world and beyond. Winklevoss is neither the first nor the last to suggest that the United States' approach to crypto will drive away the industry, or that Asia could kick off the next crypto growth cycle. Coinbase CEO and co-founder Brian Armstrong said the stringent actions from U.S. regulators, including the SEC, could further drive crypto business offshore. Meanwhile, an independent market analyst on Twitter known as GCR has also prophesied that China and Asia in general will fuel the next run in a January 8th post to their 147,000 followers. It will take quite some time to melt Western cynicism towards this space, but the East is ascending and yearning to flex. Yeah, I agree. Arthur Hayes, the former CEO of crypto derivative giant BitMEX, made a prediction last October that the next bull run will start when China moves back into the market, and went one step further to say Hong Kong has a vital part to play in this process. Hayes argued that Hong Kong might become the testing ground for Beijing to experiment with crypto markets and act as a hub for Chinese capital to find its way into the global crypto markets. At the time, he said China has not left crypto. It has just been dormant. Earlier this year, Hong Kong's financial secretary Paul Chan made a January 9th speech at the Power Hong Kong's Web3 Innovators Summit, where he revealed lawmakers passed legislation to set up licensing systems for vital asset service providers in December. As a result, the changes in legislation, a Chinese coin pump narrative has been gaining traction as speculation grows over whether the regulatory easements in Hong Kong will lead to massive surge for utility tokens as Asia-focused exchanges. Yeah, I don't know. Makes sense to me. America's just we're dragging our feet, man. I don't know. It's nothing new. It's something we've been talking about for quite some time. So yeah, do I think the East will kick off the next bull run? I mean, I guess a large portion of the volume will be coming out of there. I like the thing they said at the end of this article about focusing on potential new up-and-coming projects coming out of Asia. It's something to think about for sure. Keep that on your radar, guys. Let's look at Bitcoin right before we get out of here. On the 4 hours, still hanging out right just below that 25, man. That 25 is a turd. We flipped 25, guys. It's going to look really good. Flip it and turn it to support. Let's look at the 1 hour real quick before we get out of here. Yeah, bouncing right off that trend line. And a little pump. Hit 25, back down. Keep your guys' eye on that 25 level, man. And on this wedge right here. This is that trend line that I drew this morning. It's potentially a wedge. Let's see what it does. Outside of that, guys, let's get you out of here. It's been a long video. I apologize. If you guys do like the content that I provide here on Boring Crypto IO, please, by all means, subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell for notifications. Watch and like the videos. Share the content, guys. That's the only way that more people will see what we do, here as YouTube people, crypto people, trying to inform you guys. If you do appreciate what I do, please, share this on all of your social platforms. It helps the channel grow. Outside of that, guys, I'm gonna go enjoy my Monday. I hope you guys enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you bright and early in the morning tomorrow. I'm out of here.